Hi everybody, Brian here again from farm.net. All right, so we're going to focus now on how to register and send a visit with. We are not cooperating here. Okay, so here we go. So I've got the links here in the slide deck. Question is, how do I register on Binance? So a couple things we need to be aware of. There's a couple of options we can. If you're going to register through the Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering way, you can do that. There's another way you can do it, as I said anonymously earlier. You can use an app called Google Authenticator, and this will enable you to authenticate yourself via this app from Google, which will spit out random numbers that you register with Binance, and you can get that for your phone either on Android or Apple. So let's first look at the registering on Binance. So first thing you got to go over is you got to go over to Binance and then register. And we're already logged in here. And then what it will do is it will, I think I got a sample here. So what you need to do is you can just use whatever password, email, another password, and then if you're going to be an affiliate for Binance on the registering, that's up to you. So this is a sequence of steps you go through. So you do a registration, you put in your email, password, you gotta click on the terms of service and agree, and then you click on a register button, and then you go through a typical email verification process. And then here we have the two-factor authentication, which I would beyond recommend to set up. So as I said, I'm going to show you this Google Authenticator, how it works. So you have that option. You could use SMS for text messaging, where I figure the less they know about you, the better. And I'm not a big fan. If you don't need to do this option, and then this is just to identify you when you log in. There's different layers of Binance security. You'll get this little puzzle. You got to move the piece into the puzzle, and it's pretty straightforward stuff. Now, again, as I mentioned before, Binance is a crypto to crypto exchange. Those are changing from the latest things I'm seeing, but there is fiat currency in there. They are making a lot of changes. So the registration is pretty straightforward. As I said, all you need is just a standard email, password, and then I would look for the two-factor authentication and go with the Google Authenticator, as I said. So let's look at those apps. All right, so back to slide deck we go. Let's look at the Android one first. So this is what it is. If I can show you. So when you set up your two-factor authentication, or they call it 2FA, what you're going to do is you're going to use a valid Gmail account, and then how it works is you'll get a QR code, and the QR codes are those squiggly things, like a barcode. I'll just show you an example here. A QR code, and it works through QR codes. So let me just show you an image of it. So these are your typical QR codes, which are always unique to when you need it. So it'll create a QR code. You scan it using your phone with Binance on your on the website. I think you could do this probably through the mobile as well, but I only use the desktop through the website, and then you sync it all up through that. And what will happen is every time you log in, there's three levels of security. You have your standard email password. You'll have that puzzle thing, and then on certain functions like withdrawing money or transferring money, it's going to ask for the code that's currently on your phone on the Google Authenticator app once you get it up and running. So you'll have to look for the one you set up for with Binance, because I'll have it right here. And then I'll ask you for the current code, and then just put the 6 digits in to verify who you are when you log in, or using transferring money around. And it's pretty straightforward. And as I said, you sync it up through QR codes. So we'll leave it at that, but it's something I do and would recommend to secure your account, because you're going to get three levels of security. So it's much more secure than even traditional logging into a bank or something. So that's what I really like about Binance. So there's that. So we talked about here about the Google Authenticator when you set it up. So now once you set up your account, what you'll do is you'll have options to buy, let's say, Bitcoin, or you can buy any of these major coins here: Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Tether, EOS, and so on. The ones with the bots right now I probably will focus on is Tether US, and probably a little bit of Ethereum if it proves itself, that little bot, and maybe, just maybe, Bitcoin down the road. But when you're starting with my stuff, you probably want to do the Tether for now. Okay? So what I did see, you can use a standard credit card from what I see, but this will, again, these instructions will, you can do a bank transfer. You can do with a credit card. Some credit cards may not allow it from your location, but there's different options, and there's other options as well. So I've just given you the website how to set that up right here. So Tether as well, I've talked about. So let me just show you what we got here. So let's see here. Here is my logged in account, okay? So when you can set up your identification here, which I have not done yet, but to verify yourself, that will move you up to better. See, I'm unverified and VIP, so that will move you up into a better tier, and that's measured by are you verified through obviously your documents, and that will limit or remove some of the limitations on your daily transfers for the account. So there's that. Also, here there's an option to choose a wallet. Let's see if I can find right here. So you can choose different types of wallets. So we've talked about Spot. So this is where you'll do your deposit and transfers. And then once you set up your deposit into the Binance account, then you can move into other and transfer that those coins, whatever they are, Tether, Bitcoin, Ethereum, into other wallets. So you have your margin wallet if you want to use leverage. You also have futures wallet. I just focus right now on the spot wallet, futures wallet. So you can set those up, and then you have to open them up individually to get that. But by default, this should enable you to open up your wallet or create a wallet for setting up deposits. So once that's done, then you can start transferring from your account, credit card, or whatever, into that wallet set up with Binance. So going from there, there's some very interesting options here. So here in this link, let's hope this works. Going to play again. Okay, so here we can do this. So once you get logged in, you can set up your different wallet, your different gateways. So here, I'm in Canada. So this one called Simplex allows you to uh, transfer from your credit card this gateway or any of these gateways that you feel comfortable with. This link will explain it all. So I guess you have to register with, let's say, Simplex, and then you'll be able to get your account set up if it's a credit card and transfer the Simplex into your Binance wallet. Let's say the spot wallet. All right. So that's probably the easiest in using Simplex from what I understand. And as I said, also, if you want to get into futures, you need to set up this wallet as well. And you can just obviously use this link for that. So that's setting up the account by registering and depositing money into the account. And it's pretty straightforward to do the transfers back, like withdrawals and whatnot. I've done it once, but a while ago, and it depends upon what crypto you're using. So if let's say you have $500 of Ethereum or equivalent, and you want to transfer it back, what you can do is do a withdrawal from the Ethereum through the Ethereum blockchain, and then at the other end you may have a QR code into your own wallet as a device called Tether to store it as a cold storage, or I'm sure there's other ways to transfer it back to your fiat and maybe into your credit card or into your credit card, debit card as well, which I haven't done yet. So there are those options. So the next thing is we're going to talk about now is the Binance API register. You'll need this for the Python script that I've talked about. So I'm going to walk you through that. Let me just open up this link here. So as I said here, under this Me option, you'll see API management, and that will take you to this screenshot here. And then in here, you'll get into the API management, and in there, you'll be able to create there'll be an option there to create your API key, and then you'll need that for the Python script to do the trading from within Python. And how that works is when you create the API key, there's a secret key. You will be instructed to note it, to write it down or secure it somewhere and not let anybody else. Because once people have that access to that key, other people, they can either trade using the API, because this is the access to the Binance account. So you need to secure it and not let people take a peek at it. All right, so let me just go back to this. All right, so this link here will explain what the key is, how you use it. So here, how it works is you come under, as I said, API setting. In there, what you do is you need to create the API. And it will not, once the API is stored, this is really important, once the API is stored or created, it will not store the API on the Binance service. You will not get access to this again. So as I said, you need to write down the key. There's two parts that you'll see. So you should see it letting you know the confirmation has been sent. So it's a double confirmation because you're now granting Binance to access your account via an API. Okay, and then once you do that, you are able to create a new key. Okay, so you have 30 minutes to do this and then you'll be able to click on that create the API key. And again, this is really important to go through. And then what will happen is once you create your API by clicking this sucker, it will give you codes. So they'll give you here these very long. So you get a what they call an API key and a secret key. You need to copy these and secure it because this is the only time when you will get access to this when you create it. Okay, and in here you grant it what access you want. The one I would not, I grant it all, like give it read info, enable trading, which you really need for the trading script. Um, enable transfer. That's up to you if you want to allow a bot, any API to do the withdraw of the internal transfers for you, like from let's say the spot wallet to a futures wallet or some other wallet that is out there within Binance. So one thing I would probably recommend is not enable the API to withdraw from the account because, as I said, if you get a hacker that gets access to both the API key and the secret key, and you give that key access to be able to withdraw your funds, you're in trouble because if a hacker gets that, they will be able to clean out your account, and you don't want that, obviously. So I would definitely put in read only, read info, and enable tracking. But if you want to get into internal transfers, that's up to you. But I wouldn't worry about it. But definitely these read info and enable tracking. All right, so as I said, what will happen is you now have your keys. So now that is what you need for the Python script. And that's pretty well it. So here you can access via the mobile app, and that's pretty well it. And you're good to go. So that's it. Let me just go back to the slide deck. And is there anything else? Okay, so these are really optional if you're new to the world of APIs programming. You don't really have to worry about this, but just if you are interested from a developer standpoint, these two links will give you the rules of the API. They're pretty generous, so this would include how many requests you can make per second, per minute, per 24 hours. And if you want to get the latest announcements on the API changes, just go to this link here. And that's pretty well it, I believe. And that's it. And if you got questions on that, let me know, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.